So I like to talk. My wife didn't like for me to run for mayor, but I told her, I said, it gives me the opportunity to get in front of cameras and people and speak. And every time I do that, I like to let you know, to make sure that you know Jesus Christ is your Savior. That's more important than anything that we'll ever do. We have been in the middle of a pandemic. Time I took office, basically, shortly after that. So it's been, I guess, a little different than what it would have normally been like. So, but I feel like we have accomplished a lot. I'm really appreciative of the council that we have. You can have the best mayor you can possibly could have, but if you don't have a council that works together with a council-driven force like we have, government, it doesn't matter what the mayor does. The council all have to work together. And so we've been blessed with a good council that's working together this time, and we've been able to progress and move things forward. And I know you're all here, you're just like me, you love Darlington. That's why I ran for mayor, because I love Darlington. I've been here 56 years. I know I only look 21, but I've been here 56 years. I pulled up my kindergarten graduation certificate I found last night and posted it out there. 50 years. I've known some people like Hal Goodson and John Payne and some of these others. Got Donnie Weatherford. I didn't realize, we've been friends for 50 years. That's quite a long time. So, that's why I ran for Darlington, because this is home, and I love my home, and I wanted to see it progress and go forward. We have a lot of things that are coming up that are going to make the town even better, that I didn't always have a part of. They were actually in the works when I became mayor. Georgia Pacific is in the process of spending $143 million, and they're already started on that. That's a major impact into the city. We greatly appreciate them staying here. They could have picked up and left, just like a lot of companies do. But we appreciate that. So when you go out and buy plates and cups, buy Dixie, okay? Because that's home, all right? Support home. When you can support the local residents, and Dixie Cup, Georgia Pacific is local. That money comes here, and we appreciate them spending that here. My understanding, Genesis Healthcare is getting ready to do some more expansions also. The courthouse, of course, is coming in staying in the middle of the city, which is a major plus for us. Getting ready to spend millions of dollars there also. So Carolina Bank's just recently built downtown. The county has worked well with us. When I came in, they said a lot of times the city and the county doesn't work together well. We have a good personal relationship with Charles Stewart. I pick up the phone, he answers, he calls me back. If he don't, he's not there. So made good connections with a lot of people on county council. Has been a good plus with us back and forth. Appreciate Bobby Kilgo working with us also with trying to get the county library that has been sitting empty for 34 years. Okay, and so that library is going to now become back to life, and hopefully continue to piece in the puzzle to make our downtown look and thrive like we want it to thrive. I sit and watch occasionally the TV shows on the Life Channel with your wife, the Christmas shows, and I was snapping my picture the other day. I said, hold, back that up real quick, and I popped a picture and I said, that looks just like Darlington. That's how Darlington should look. And so, it's a 24/7 job. I always, I know how I want it to look, and I'm a working type person. My goal at the beginning was to go out and actually see what we could get cleaned up. I've always told people that, I can't, if you invite me to your house, I invite you to my house. Typically what people do is they try to clean things up before the guests come in. And so we're in kind of a catch-22. We want more residents. We want more businesses. Wish I could snap my fingers and make businesses come. We've been in the middle of the pandemic, so right now we're trying to survive and make people continue to stay open. Our governor told us the other day that he will not shut us back down, and I was there and I've documented that. So praise the good Lord that he will not shut us back down again. And so it's right this moment with the way things have changed, it's a job to try to tackle to get new businesses to come into town. But it's working. What my process at the beginning was to hopefully, the media asked me when I ran for mayor, what would you do different? How would you compete with Florence and Hartsville? And I said, I'm not going to compete with them. That's what I've learned to do in my business, is I'm not there to compete with other gyms. I'm there to do what I do best, and I've learned to do that. I want to do what Darlington does best, and I want other people to turn and look at us and go, what's happening in Darlington? And that's already happening. People are looking, they see activity moving, they see things happening. If the town's stagnant and there's nothing being cleaned up, no progress being made, Nobody wants to come into a town like that. So progress is being made. People are looking, and we're getting attention. So that's one of my goals that we started, and it's happening. Like I said, things are prospering. I've got a list of I'll try not to read every one of them to you, but I made a list that I try to keep up with throughout the year. A lot of times I know I forget small things to big things, and I'll go back, I forgot we did that, I forgot we did this. And again, some of this stuff is things that I personally did. Some of it is things that we did together as a team. When we first started, my goal was, I had heard them say before I became mayor that, we heard somebody say on council, well, we're not going to get a ball field. And so most of y'all are in here about my age or so. Our ball fields were built 60 years ago, okay? And so it's time. It's past time. There's no bathrooms out there worth working. There's, it's just, we love Blue Street. Blue Street's home. That's where I played baseball. Well, that's where I sat the bench a lot. But anyway, that's why I took karate, because I wasn't really good at baseball. I couldn't hit the ball, but I could hit a person. But that's where I played ball, okay? That's where a lot of y'all play ball. Your children's play ball. That's home, and it'll always be the ball fields. But we've outgrown that, and when people come into town, they're looking for growth. They're looking for things for their children. And so, to me, when I put the lights out up on the square, when we go out to the playgrounds and we hear people talk, to me, if we can make our town for the children, is my goal. Is people say they want a brewery, they want this, they want these restaurants. Well, you got to have adults, and with a child comes an adult. So if you can do things for the children, and when you have activities like we had, the chamber put on instead of doing the Freedom Fest, we did the Fright Fest. Had complaints with that, had positives with that. We had way more positives than we had complaints. But the children loved it, okay? The fireworks were phenomenal. We scared some people with the fireworks, I'm sure, because we were able to finally get it passed to put it inside the city limits, inside the town, instead of on the racetrack. But it was a phenomenal show. But the children love it. And if you can bring a child into town, then you can put more children in your schools. You can have more people going to the dentist's office, the doctor's office. You have more people going to the grocery stores because their parents are going to be there with them. So when you watch and look, when you bring something out for the kids, it brings the adults, and the city will continue to grow and prosper. But I said a lot of things that we've done over the years, over this past year, small to large. I'll read a few of them. I'll try not to read every little thing, but I have a list of 60-something things that I know that have been accomplished. Before I read, one other thing that I posted out yesterday to the city council that I'm more than proud of, besides the ball field that we purchased for 111 acres out there that they said we wouldn't be able to get. I got that the second month that we were in. We pushed to get that. It's not inside the city limits. I want to thank the Ramseys for working with us. The county's working with us, and we're trying to work with the racetrack now to get that annexed in so it would actually be inside the city limits so we can get the city to grow further. But the ball fields will be, the drawings already been done. The drawings will be presented hopefully by January or February. He's got everything was agreed on this past week. And so he actually did the detailed drawings on the ball field sports complex. And it's phenomenal. But again, we're going to need help with that. And we'll be able to start the first phase hopefully soon here and get that going so our city will look the way it should be for our children for the ball fields. The other thing was that is a major accomplishment is that 5 years ago, everybody knows we just got a nice new fire truck, right? $2 million if we'd bought it new, $1 million, close to $2 million, okay? Got it for $135,000, I think, okay? Got very low miles on it, a little bit older truck, but it's 95 feet. So now our city, if anybody needs anything that's on fire, we don't have to call Hartsville, we don't have to call anybody else, we can do it, okay? But the fallback to that is the road keeps falling in around the fire department, okay? And my understanding has been falling in for years. I know it's fell in for 5 times since I've been mayor, since January. I've been down there personally and watched them try to patch the job. And so I would get ill, and they would get ill, and they get ill because I was ill, and I'm videotaping them. They get mad, and I call Senator Malloy down there. Thanks, Senator Malloy, for coming. He came down and actually physically walked down there with me, and he said, "This isn't where I'm supposed to be." And I said, "No, this isn't where I'm supposed to be either. Okay, we got other things to do." But we're down there trying to figure out why the road keeps caving in. Okay, and it's supposed to have been fixed 5 years ago. Well, the ball got dropped. They told Howard, "You need a bill." Howard says, "I don't have a bill." So then, over the last 5 years, the road still continues to fall in and hasn't gotten fixed. So now Finally fell in, and I finally got a hold to the right people, I guess, because persistence enough to continue to irritate somebody. But if you don't want me to call you, don't give me your phone number, okay? Because I'm going to call you, and I'm going to call you out. So we called them out. They came, and now Kyle Berry, I'd like to thank Kyle Berry from the DOT for pushing the emergency order. He said night before last, I texted him back again. I can text him at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and he'll text me back. And said that asked him what the update was on Wells Street and Orange Street. And Wells Street's getting ready to be completely redone 1st of January. The contractor's already been bidded out, and they did an emergency bid on that. So that street will actually be completely gutted, and new drains coming down there, which may not seem a lot to all, but for the fire department or you riding down Orange Street or Wells Street, and all of a sudden you disappear. As what I told Senator Malloy and some of the other ones, I said, that pothole, when they go through, it might not be but this big today, and some of them were this big. Nobody, thank God, fell in the pothole, okay? But it wasn't going to take much to eventually somebody will disappear, and it could be you or your wife or your family, and then all of a sudden what you're going to do. So they've got that or lose the fire truck. They've already lost the fire truck down and messed up one fire truck before with the hole. But that's going to be fixed and totally repaired, and hopefully, because a lot of those drains that come from that road into into Orange Street are drains that take the water off of Pearl Street. Well, we have problems with water on Pearl Street and flooding up through Taki's area and all through there. So a lot of that water is going to should flow a little quicker and faster and help prevent that area also. So hopefully it'll help us with the drainage. But that was supposed to be a $50,000 on the books that the city had agreed to pay $50,000 toward a state road, which isn't our road, but never got spent, never happened. And then when they came in now, went from $300-something thousand. Now it's supposedly close to a $600,000 job that the city has to pay nothing for. The state's going to take care of the whole thing. So I have on my sheet that we saved $50,000. Okay, so I'm documenting everything we can take that we did save. So that was definitely a savings. And so that's going to hopefully be fixed in January, according to DOT. Thank DOT, Kyle Berry, and the other guys that came out. Of course, the news media loves to take and pull your negative part a lot of times, and I like to say some negative things sometimes more than I should. Of course, when I was down in there, I said I was going to sue DOT, and of course, that's what they wanted to run with. The city of Darlington is going to sue DOT. Well, we sent them legal letters and try to get a hold to the right person to push the right button. And so finally one day, Robert Williams and Senator Malloy came down, and we spoke and talked about the different problems with the drainage, and met with Representative Williams again about with Howard about trying to have a meeting with all the DOT and officials to try to get everybody on board to get the roads and drains some assistance with that. As he left the office, Robert Williams left the office, within 3 minutes was when Kyle Berry called and asked to have a meeting with us. So I called Representative Williams. I said, did you call him that fast? He goes, no, I haven't made any contact with him. So Kyle Berry came down and met with about 9 of us. We all drove through town, took the DOT officials around, looked at a lot of the issues that we have through town. They've been, like I said, they've been Johnny on the spot trying to help us. I asked him that day in the van, I said, why did you call us? You know why he called us, right? Because of my comments on TV. So sometimes it helps to call people out, okay? I don't try to call people out, but it does get people's attention. I had said that when I ran for mayor, that if you're in my way, I'm going to move you, and I'm going to tell everybody that you're in my way, okay, if somebody's blocking it. Over the years that I've been here, 56 years, I've seen a lot of things get blocked over the years, and you don't always know who's blocking it. So we're here to progress and make progress and move forward in the right way to make our town what we want it to be, which is still home and comfortable to come in. We can walk the streets, we can run the streets, and feel comfortable and not worry about getting robbed. There's crime everywhere. There's sidewalks messed up everywhere. There's things that are messed up that we're still trying to continue to make better. We've made a lot of progress on the sidewalks. Howard's got a lot of things going on with that, getting the sidewalks that are messed up fixed also. A lot of times people are confused with what's DOT roads and what's state road and what's a city road. I know I told them I was going to get a shirt one day that says this, because every time I come in and say, can we fix this? They go, well, it's DOT's. And they go, DOT, and they say, well, it's yours. And so, it's like, well, somebody just fix it, okay? It's in our city, so let's just fix it. So that's kind of my philosophy. I don't care whose it is. Let's just get it done. But good progress with that. At the beginning of the year, I had issues with some of the air conditioners in the Baldwin gym and both gyms. They came in and Lee Andrews had said they got a bid on some of the air conditioners all the air conditioners needed to be replaced by a contractor, and was going to be a little over $100,000. So we got him set up with Alan Guffey. Came in and inspected it, looked at it, because I told myself, council said, you need two more bids, make sure you got 3 bids. And so we got him set up with Alan Guffey to come in and look at it. And one of the air conditioners, the thermometer hadn't been set up, it never been connected, so that's why the air conditioner didn't work. And one of them had a balloon stuck in it, so it was some minor work for I think $1,600 or $1,700 fixed. So on my books, we saved $100,000 that we were getting ready to spend on new air conditioners at the first or second month, I think it was, that we saved on. So we've done a lot of good things. I won't read every little thing to you. I'd like to thank PD Junk. A lot of times people want to be doctors, lawyers, and businessmen, and things that they don't get their hands dirty, and they forget about being the plumber or the guy, the sewer and septic tank guy, and the PD Junk guy. And you got junk, you call PD Junk. And I'm going to promote them because when I call them, they go for free. Pick up these mattresses and stuff that's sitting on the side of the road and look nasty, and it's not always in somebody's particular yard. It's a lot of times they'll dump it on somebody's property, and so you don't know who to actually go to get. So they've been really good about going through and helping us assist with that and helping keep the city clean. A lot of things are little things. I tell people you got to start with the little things. If my shoes are untied and my pants are unzipped and I walk in here this morning, it ain't going to look real good, okay? And so I'm going to trip and fall and things aren't going to look well. So the little things are when you ride through town, I know that when I ride through other towns, what I look at, and a lot of times you don't even stop, you just ride through and go, wow, that's a really pretty town. They got the flowers out, the garden club and all, the beautification board. I appreciate their support and effort. They're always Johnny on the spot, trying to fix things up and clean things up. And so stuff like that is, appearance-wise, is things that we all can do together. Can you clean your own yard up? Can you clean your neighbor's yard up? Can you come up and help with cleanup days? So things like that for your city, that the city doesn't always have enough support. I know I call Alex all the time. Can we get this cut? Can we get that cut? We're limited on numbers. So, having so many people that we only have to cut grass, and I don't want the grass cut. I want it edged and manicured. I want the town to walk through. I want you to drive through, and I want it to be pristine. And so we are out there doing what we can do to make sure that when people drive through our town, the appearance-wise is very presentable. That way, you can get people to come back into your town. We want to be inviting. Is what I've asked for. As you come into town by my gyms down there, we've actually finally been able to purchase the 2 buildings down there, renovate those. Palmetto Subs is moving into one of those locations. The first one that was actually, both those buildings actually need to be torn down. We've been able to get those renovated and bring those back to life to where hopefully we can have more businesses into town, to where a lot of people don't want to come into town and build a new building. So if we can save the buildings we got, is a benefit there also. I asked for Charles Bailey to be moved from night shift as chief of fire department to the day. There's been a long time since people have actually walked in. Like I said, I have businesses in multiple locations, towns, and it's nothing for Florence to walk in the door and say, we need to see your fire sprinkler system. I need to see your emergency lights, your fire extinguishers, and no notice. They just walk in the door, they're ready to check it out, and I got to be ready. If you're not ready, 30 days later, they're going to shut you down. And for a long time, we haven't been having that done. I fussed about that before I was mayor when I was tearing the building down on Broad Street. That building was a mess. For 4 years, they tried to get it down. Darlington investors jumped in with me. We all got that torn down, and there were TVs in there that some of y'all still need to come pick up. Okay, because it was worse than getting rid of a dead body. Getting rid of a TV. So there were thousands and thousands of TVs. It was just a hazard, which when that came down, helped with the ratings for the fire department also. But by getting Charles moved to the front line, I asked Howard to try to get that done. He did that. I appreciate that. So now Howard can go out. Charles can go out and actually has been going out and doing a great job with that, inspecting businesses to make sure that they're up to code. We're not going out trying to harass anybody, but make sure that our city doesn't catch on fire and everything is no one gets hurt, and the city is done correctly. Next month it should be passed that he'll actually have the authority to check business license. Business licenses haven't been thoroughly checked like they're supposed to. Small thing, but that adds up to big money. A lot of people aren't paying their business license. If nobody's checking it, then it's not getting done. So greatly appreciate moving him up. Asked for Sheila Jones to be moved from. She was already in the codes department with Alex. Alex was getting ready to be moved into the sanitation department, and I mentioned to Howard. I said, well, Sheila, she's kind of on point. She's real, she dots her I's and crosses her T's. I think she'd make a good codes person. Well, he said, I don't know if she'd like to crawl under houses. Well, she likes to crawl in the mud, so she does those Spartan races and stuff like that. So he presented that to her, and she's already passed 4 or 5 tests, and is Johnny on the spot doing a great job and helping with making sure that codes are enforced also. She goes around with me, and we get a little list made up of things that need to be taken care of, and she writes it down and checks it off and sends me back before and after pictures, and a lot of little things are getting taken care of. So greatly appreciate Howard moving that also. We had a lot of properties and things that need to be cleaned up. There's still a lot of properties that need to be cleaned up that we're working on trying to get taken care of. We got the house on Broad Street taken down, which was a historical home. I had a conversation with the Historical Society on that. Some of them weren't happy that house got taken down, and I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to make the town look better. House has been sitting empty for 15 plus years. No one wants to take anything down if we can still use it, just like the buildings in front of my gym. When I bought them, I thought they needed to be tore down. When we got in them, we were able to fix them. And so, what I've asked the Historical Society to do, the commission, the group, the committees to do, is to be proactive and make sure that there's houses that you see that are becoming in bad shape that people are taking care of. What can we do to make those houses better? What can we do to bring people from outside of our city, from other states, into our town to stay in these homes that have the money and the desire to take an old home and repair it and fix it up and make it nice. So we have a lot of history in our homes. The Historical Society is getting ready to spend a few $1 million on their building also, so that's getting ready to prosper in that section also, along with the courthouse. So multiple things going on all the way around. We pushed to get the city council all was pushed together to get the city water and sewer and all raised. We were behind the ball. I caught one of the things I asked Alex. I said, what the building that we just bought up on the Park Florence, the trash can was sitting there first part of the year, nobody in the building. I said, well, why is the trash can sitting there? Well, we didn't kind of find out before he got into the codes department. We had multiple trash cans just sitting out there that were the city's paying for, but not collecting any money on it. Then we come to find out, start digging more. We have trash cans that we're charging you $32 for, and it's costing us $48 or thereabouts. So we're losing money. So that's why a lot of that had to be changed. Go up on stuff, it makes people mad. We hate it, but behind the 8-ball things have to change. The water bill had to change. We hated that we had to go up on the water bill, but to get caught up and try to get to the point that we need to be to get our water and sewer fixed, we had to take that initiative to push that forward. We agreed on paving, I think it's 17 or 18 city roads that are actually being paved by Industrial Paving and Sam Evans Construction. So hopefully by the end of December, they'll have all those roads paved. The county has pushed in and gotten Russell Street and some of the other streets taken care of. They got about 5 streets paved. And then Hewitt Street and Fountain Street are going to be taken over by the county, and they'll be taken care of and paved. So I think Pearl Street is agreed to be paved. It's supposed to be bidded on in March, and they have a year and a half, up to a year and a half, so to pave it. So within a year and a half, Pearl Street should be paved from 151 all the way into town. They don't have a set date on Main Street coming through town, which is rough, but we're trying to push for all that also. So a lot of things, like I said, have progressed and moved forward. We appreciate getting a lot of that taken care of, the streets and things like that. The city council agreeing to taking care of all that. Let's see. The railroad.